Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
देखिए मैं लाल लाल खाए में हाय हाय टंगी टंगी ताऊबा में मिर्ची FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot. Mirchi FM bon julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In this bulletin, writ of elections issued, political party registrations closed. Activist People's Party applications lapses. And more than 570,000 voters registered as of this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The writ for the 2014 general election has been issued by Acting President Justice Anthony Gates. This triggers a series of events such as the nomination of political candidates to the Fijian Elections Office and the closing of voter and party registration. Ritika Pratap reports.
A writ of election is a directive by the head of state ordering the holding of an election.
In exercise of the powers conferred under sections 173 and 165(4) of the Constitution of the Republic of Fiji and section 21 of the Electoral Decree 2014, and on the advice of the Prime Minister, I command you to cause an election to be held according to law of 50 members to sit and vote in Parliament.
History where we have one person, one vote, one value. We're not going to have any legal enforcement of ethnic voting. You also have for the first time 18-year-olds who will be voting. So it is a very, very historic occasion. And as you know that the Chief Justice has issued the writ in his capacity as the acting president. And now of course all the final steps that needed to be facilitated by government has been done, because the writ is issued by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. That advice obviously has been given.
Political parties can start submitting the names of their candidates that will contest the general elections from 8 a.m. on the 5th of August. The parties have time until 18th of August at 12 p.m. Each party has to pay $1,000 for each candidate.
We'll process each application to check if it meets the legal requirements under the electoral decree, and we will inform the candidate of the success or failure of the application thereafter.
Processing applications by independent candidates will take time, as the Elections Office will verify the details of all supporting members. Each independent candidate needs at least 1,000 supporting members. The objection to any nominations can be made to the Electoral Commission by 4 p.m. 19th August. With the writ now issued, the Electoral Commission is calling on political parties, the media and the public to have ethical conduct.
The Commission appeals to the people of Fiji to refrain from any violence against people or property. The Commission stresses that racial incitement during campaigning by political parties and independent candidates is against the laws of Fiji. The relevant stakeholders must be vigilant in ensuring balanced reporting by the print media, radio and TV stations.
All parties must now provide a list of nominees with their rankings. Candidates have to fill in a declaration. Independent candidates also have to do the same. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Hundreds of people turned up at voter registration centres around the country at the 11th hour today. Chanel Sivan was there as the last voters registered.
As this bulletin goes to air, voter registration has just come to a halt. The latest figures show that 575,957 people have registered. For those who haven't registered, there will be no more opportunity. This means you won't be able to vote on September 17th.
This was the scene right from the morning as Fijians used the final opportunity to register, while others had their voter details amended.
Actually, we are here to change our polling station.
And were you registered at a different address before, and why are you changing it at this time?
Actually, I'm a USP student, so I won't be able to go back to my home place.
I lost my card, and I'm going to change my election address. Moving from the island, I'm supposed to have my election in the island. So I moved to Suva, choosing to stay with my family during the election time.
I've lost my card.
Yeah, that's first time to me to register for the Fiji election.
For the elections office, work still continues on the final voter roll.
We are now going to assign them to the polling venues, and we're going to then allow them time to go through this by texting on 545. Once they have done the text message and they are sure that they are happy with that venue, and they have not submitted a change in venue application by the 20th of August, then we will be able to say this is the final voter list. And that will be available after the 20th of August.
A texting platform on the number 545 shows the venue for every voter. This can be used free of charge on any network.
Right now people are checking on the provisional to find out where they're supposed to be voting. Once they have checked, and if they have got changes, then the next week they can check again to confirm that they have now been placed in a polling venue or polling station that's nearest to what they had asked for, or that's what they had asked for. And after that, when we release the final voter list, they can be sure that that's where they will be voting. So at the moment, until the 20th, even though the roll closes, we will still stick to provisional because there's going.
It's 43 days and counting for the election. Voters are being urged to familiarize themselves with the polling process and their assigned polling venue. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the proposed activist People's Party has missed the deadline and cannot be registered to contest the September election. Once the writ of elections was issued, the Elections Office closed the window for political party registrations. The Registrar of Political Parties, Mohammed Saneem, confirmed to FBC News all pending applications became void at midday today. The One Fiji Party has been registered by the Fijian Elections Office. Registrar of Political Parties Mohammed Saneem says he instructed his staff to re-examine the application after they discovered an error was made during the data matching process. He says after the review, they are confident the party meets the minimum membership requirement in each division. Saneem says he has decided that the applicant's official name, the One Fiji Party, does not resemble Fiji First enough to cause confusion for voters. However, he said it was in his opinion that the applicant's logo, One Fiji, closely resembles Fiji First concept and has therefore instructed the party to submit a new logo by tomorrow. Still with elections, the Public Service Commission has issued a circular to civil servants on their role and conduct during the September elections. Civil servants are to portray a high level of dedication, commitment, political neutrality, and professionalism. Civil servants can be members of a political party, attend private political meetings, and speak and vote at such meetings. But they're not allowed to hold office in any party or speak or vote at public political meetings. Campaigning for any political party by a civil servant is forbidden. Coming up, Finance Ministry says our economy is in good shape for the long term.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Waltaka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Fatul Kola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Fiji's economic growth is stable and on track according to the Finance Ministry. Permanent Secretary Filimoni Wangabava spoke out on FBCTV's For the Record program last night to counter misinformation being spread to the public.
The economy is expected to grow by 3.8% this year,
And Wangambada says all their indicators are showing positive signs.
Even international institutions such as International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, they've talked about the fact that given the constraints that were imposed on us during the period 2007 to 2013, we were able to come out strongly as an economy.
There have been comments that government spending is what's driving the economy and it's only for short-term growth. However, the Reserve Bank confirms that while government capital expenditure is high, private sector investment is also booming.
From government, it's on roads. From the private sector, it is in building and construction, manufacturing, tourism sector. And, the Airport Fiji Limited is also doing some upgrade for the airport, so it's also there. And Fiji Electricity Authority is doing some capital works also.
Wangambada says government policies are designed for investment and sustained growth over a longer period. He also denies that Fiji is drowning in debt. Some figures being thrown around are $5 billion owing to China, noting it's not really possible when our national budget is only about $3 billion.
Over 77% would be borrowed domestically. About 23% or so is being financed from external sources. And these external sources, who are they? We have the Asian Development Bank, we have the China Exim Bank, we also have the Malaysian Exim Bank, and I think there are a few other small investment groups.
Foreign reserves, an indicator of financial stability, stand at around $1.6 billion at the end of July. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Meanwhile, a mission from the International Monetary Fund was in Fiji during the last 2 weeks of July. The IMF says, supported by increased disposable income and credit expansion, our GDP growth is projected to accelerate to 3.8% in 2014, well above the average growth rate over the past decade. Inflation has remained low, partly due to low import prices. However, they report pervasive price controls cloud inflation assessment. The IMF also says while good progress has been made in recent years, structural reforms need to continue if the country is to achieve sustainably high growth and increase resilience to external economic shocks. At least 2 local television companies are rallying behind government in support of the change from analog to digital television through the National Digital Television Platform. Vasita Kotewasawasa reports.
The Department of Communications is still finalizing the National Television Platform, which, when completed, will be given to the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation to manage.
It means a lot of responsibility. It means making sure that the platform is up and running 100% of the time, because we will not only be responsible for ourselves anymore as in FBC, but we'll be responsible for every other TV carrier that may rent or lease the digital channel of this new company, which is of course going to be a subsidiary of FBC.
FBC will meet with the Department of Communications to discuss its role in the management of the platform.
It's not like, oh, it's here you go, it's all good. We will be inheriting not only the assets of the company and the infrastructure, but we'll be inheriting the debts as well. So obviously, there's going to be a spend on infrastructure to get everything going, and that money is going to come from somewhere. And the company will be, or the setup of it will take money.
Private-owned MyTV says for years they have been asking to be included in the VHF platform, but the digital television platform is the way forward for them now.
It does lead a way for us to get better access to uniformity in the broadcasting network, especially by way of having us all on one platform.
Justin Smith says they will also need to look at the smaller details of the platform.
We still aren't aware of what the fees are for hosting through FBC for the platform. The entry cost as well, we need to look at very closely, as it'll be borne by the broadcaster, as well as the entry level for the public to be able to subscribe to the digital television.
Fiji Television Limited says it will only comment once they have received an official announcement from government. The platform is expected to improve the picture and sound quality of television programs and expand the coverage of all broadcast television channels to 94% of the population.
offering better reception, more channels and access to high definition and pay-per-view programming. Fusita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
A new centre in Suva will be making sanitary pads for women with disabilities and those living in rural areas. The Ability Shine Production Centre, located at the Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons Complex, will employ 10 people. Ellen Stolz reports.
The centre produces cheap sanitary pads and has made about 100, ready for supply to rural Fiji. FNCDP Executive Director Dr. Sitiveni Yanuyanutawa says the benefits are twofold: providing jobs for women with disabilities and producing an item that's relatively expensive for rural dwellers.
What we are looking at in the bigger picture is to get women with disabilities and also social welfare recipients. These disadvantaged women, we want to include them in the whole process of be part of the sanitary pads. They learn the skills and at the same time they're earning money as well.
The centre is starting off with 10 employees, but the plan is to provide sanitary pads for rural communities all over Fiji.
We would like to set the priority on the rural areas and especially the rural, the women centres that will be able to create an outlet for these sanitary pads. But we are also, as we progress, we'll be able to give a lot of probably create other opportunities in probably in urban and semi-urban areas as well.
The centre uses raw materials like cotton from India, but this might soon change as the FNCDP tries to source locally.
Well, if it is available locally, then we will buy local. But if it is not, then we'll definitely have to buy from India. But the main product that we use in here is cotton. And you know that Fiji no longer produces cotton at that extent, so it probably has to be from India.
Akanisi Latu has been trained on how to make these pads, allowing her to become part of the economy in her own little way.
So we have been looking forward for this thing. So this is something that as people with disability, that we really know that we are moving forward. So good.
The Ability Shine sanitary pads will only cost you $2, and the centre is also looking at trying to get their product certified as Fijian made. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
And Jamie joins you now with Monday Night Sports.
Good evening. Coming up, the Baileys Fiji Coral Coast Sevens received $30,000 sponsorship for women's competition and pools drawn for Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants. Details after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
Deke me lala, kai me high. Tangi tauwa me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot. Mirchi FM, bo julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The women's competition at the Baileys Fiji Coral Coast Sevens in November has received a $30,000 boost from Goodman Fielder. Our own Fijiana team will be there rubbing shoulders with some of the best, like the 2012 champion Aussie Pearls, one of the 16 women's teams competing for the Crest Nairi Trophy and $10,000 prize money. Tournament organizers say the competition will be the best it's ever hosted.
Thrilled today to be able to announce that the women's tournament will grow from 12 to 16 teams, and we are very thrilled to welcome Crest back to the sponsor family. The expanded Crest Nairi Trophy is a real positive sign for women's rugby, and it's a fantastic opportunity for local talent to shine ahead of what is a critical Olympic qualifying year.
The 2014 Coral Coast Sevens will be played on November 13th to the 15th at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. Pools were drawn for the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants today. Suva coach Gurjit Singh was at the event, and though some would say Suva has been drawn in a weaker pool, the capital side will not be taking any teams lightly. Josephine Navula has the details.
The pools for the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants is out, and on paper, Pool B looks the tougher out of the two. However, Suva football coach Gurujit Singh says they are not taking any teams lightly in this year's tournament.
Looking at other teams like we have played Navua and Ndronga, guys, we have seen them beating by the Fiji Fed, so all the teams will be tough for us.
The team will be aiming to go one better than their Fiji Fed final loss in June.
We have to prepare well. As I always say, if you want a good result, you have to prepare well. So we'll plan everything so that we have a good team for BOG.
Ink Mobile today presented Fiji Football Association with a $60,000 sponsorship for the tournament.
We are very glad to have this sponsorship going because this has not only got the soccer to another height, but this has also brought the sponsorship to another level.
This round of the games will be played on August 22nd to 24th at Govind Park in Ba, while the semi-finals and the final will be played a week later in Suva. The winner of the tournament will walk away with $11,000. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Mba football side is closing the gap with leading Suva in the Fiji Sun Skippertoon National League. This after the men in black beat Lautoka 1-0 at Ba's Govind Park yesterday with a lone goal from Melidonro. Ba is now second on the standings. Suva still tops the points table despite its 2-1 weekend loss to Lombasa. This was Suva's first loss in the league this season. Ba and Nandi follow suit while Navo is still rooted at the bottom of the table. League play resumes on the weekend. The 2014 Commonwealth Games have come to a close in Scotland. After 2 weeks of top-level competition between Commonwealth nations, including Fiji, the teams bid goodbye to Glasgow. It was a spectacular ending and the start of a 4-year wait for the next Games to be held in Australia. Indra Singh with more.
After 2 weeks of hard action, it was time to party for all involved in the latest edition of the Commonwealth Games.
We have witnessed superb sporting action, supported by fantastic organisation.
England finished on top of the pile with the most medals, followed by Australia and Canada.
These games had athletes and sport as their central focus. All Games partners worked together to provide them everything they needed to compete at their very best.
There was also a timely reminder to the Commonwealth nations about the goals of the Games.
The Commonwealth Games are known as the Friendly Games. Glasgow has succeeded in making them even more than that. These have truly been the People's Games.
It's time for reflection and rectification on how and what to improve on, because 4 years is surely not too far away. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
That was your Monday Night Sports. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The Ministry of Labour will reduce the turnaround time and compensation payment for injuries or fatalities caused at the workplace. Labour Minister Chone Usumate says this will help the families continue with their livelihoods, such as meeting their daily needs. Usumate handed over a compensation cheque of $130,000 to 22-year-old Yogendra Sami, who was injured while at work. He added the reform will introduce a no-fault system whereby there will always be a pool of money available so that in case of an injury, the payout can be done within a short time frame. Weather segment now with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Well, looking at today's map, most places had cloudy skies, as well as Suva and Sava with cloudy skies in the morning and scattered showers towards the afternoon. Nandi Lautoka and Lambasa with fine weather all day. Temperatures today, Suva 26, Nandi Lautoka on 29, Ba 28, and Lambasa 29. Tomorrow's forecast, Suva and Sava might have similar conditions as today with cloudy skies and occasional showers. Well, all day long, Nandi Lautoka and Lambasa with fine weather in the morning and cloudy skies in the afternoon. For mariners, a strong wind warning remains in force for northern Lao and northern Vanua level waters and Batu Ira Passage. Our image of the day is a photo of a sunrise with its rays, courtesy of Minesh Bhagwan.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Just a quick recap of our headlines. A writ of elections has been issued by Acting President Justice Anthony Gates. Political party registrations and voter registration have now closed, and Fiji economy in good hands according to Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank. Time now for Fijians Speak. This week's question: who do you trust to take Fiji forward?
Because of the free education.
I think NFP will take Fiji forward.
I think Sadalpa will take Fiji forward. Thank you.
Bainimarama, Fiji first.
Why?
Because everything we touch is a very good example.
As for me, I think Fiji Labour Party will take Fiji forward at this election.
Meanwhile, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, take subspace FBC to 777. That's all for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Good evening.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singatoka. I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot. Deke me lala, kai me hi. Tangi tauwa me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bo julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.